Hi guys, my name is Rama. But before I start, welcome to Sip and Speak with Rama. This is my occasional vlog that I do just to talk about things on my mind. It could be anything, movies, life experiences, my travels, of course, which I know some of you have seen that. Um, and yeah, a plethora of other things. So over last week, I had a number of days off, right? I think it was about 7 days off, and I think it was the most restful days of my life. Um, Sometimes too much rest can affect your brain, and I am not even lying. I'm not trying to make this up. This has been experienced. This proof. It's not just a theory. I have practiced it and I'm telling you, too much rest can be just overwhelming. You might get depressed from too much rest of doing nothing. And I'm telling you, it's no joke. So, over the course of those days that I was off, I watched a number of movies. But the one that stood out was this Netflix movie titled Father, Husband, Killer. Now, I was looking forward to that movie and it came out recently. I've never been this much disturbed after watching a movie, considering the fact that it's also a true life story about, I think, a woman called Alison Pato. Yeah, look it up. It's on Netflix. Now, let me tell you, and I don't usually do spoiler alerts, but I need to spoil this movie. And I still think that you're still going to experience that feeling that the movie is supposed to give, even if I give you a little a little backstory on that. So imagine this: you're married to a man, right? You have two kids. That's how the movie started. You have two kids, and eventually, your first child, whom you had when you were younger, you gave that child for adoption with the hopes of giving the child a better life, and also considering the fact that at the time when you had the kid, you were not ready. So that child is given up for adoption. So basically, of all three kids, that child would be the oldest. She's about, I think, 18 or 21, between that. Child turns a certain age, either 18 or 21, and decides tells the adoptive parents that, oh, I think it's time. I want to go see my real parents. So adoptive parents are like, oh yeah, why not? So child takes the trip, go to the adoptive parents. Now, goes to the real parents. Now, the real parents, like I said, so now of all three kids, they have two kids who are younger. One of them is on the spectrum, the other one is just okay. And so real parents are having issues, marital issues. Mother is filing for a divorce or is opting to file for a divorce because apparently dad doesn't give too much input into the family in terms of provision, but engages with the children and all of that. But of course, what else is he going to do? He has no job. So he's going to, engage with the kids. So child for adoption comes into the family, right? Say, for instance, that child for adoption is called Elizabeth. So Elizabeth comes into the family, and when she comes, everybody's excited. Everybody wants to get a piece of her. Everybody wants to make it up for all the times lost, especially mother and father. Kids are nonchalant. They don't really care. Oh, that's our sister. Oh, okay, bye. Yeah, we're just gonna buy. But mother wants to spend so much time, wants to rekindle love, wants to make up for all these years that she wasn't around and all of that. Father wants the same thing. Now, mother eventually says, regardless of Elizabeth coming into the family, it's not going to change the fact that she still wants a divorce from this man. So, well, she files for the divorce and whatever. But I think it was an amicable divorce or whatever. So now Elizabeth is with the family, but mother has decided to find a place elsewhere so that she goes with the two other kids, and the two other kids go with her. But the question is, what happens to Elizabeth? Because it looks like Elizabeth wants to stay almost permanently with her family. Not too permanently, the story didn't really say, but maybe stay a little longer. So father and mother discuss. So what happens to Elizabeth? The mother says Elizabeth is old enough to decide who she wants to spend time with. So Elizabeth ends up choosing father, because guess what? Father makes Elizabeth do things that she likes to do, makes her have fun, appreciates her sense of art, says she's a great artist, and even made her try alcohol even though she wasn't old enough. So then it tells me that she wasn't 21 but rather 18. So based upon this, Elizabeth thinks, oh, dad is really cool. So yeah, I might want to spend time with dad. Mom didn't have a problem with it. She still got her own place, and now with kids, yada, yada, yada. Then all of a sudden, so based upon the divorce agreement, the other kids will spend certain amount of time, maybe the weekends, with their dad and all of that, while Elizabeth stays with dad and all of that. So anytime those kids come, Elizabeth is home. That's their sister. Nobody would think anything crazy. But one time during breakfast, they're eating, and all of a sudden, there's this kind of weird, energy going on. Father begins to feed Elizabeth in her mouth, and Elizabeth takes it with her mouth, and they spend so much time, they're kicking, spending so much time that other kids feel like, that does not relate to us that way, and all of that. So a lot is just happening, but you would not suspect, right? So what I'm trying to say is, when the other kids are not around, that means Elizabeth is only home with dad. So one time Elizabeth had she crashed out, she had a problem, or she had a breakdown or whatever. And then dad comes into Elizabeth's room to console Elizabeth. Now think about it, Elizabeth is dad's this is your real dad. It's not like adoptive or anything. That's your real dad. So dad comes into Elizabeth's room and then tries to console her, and guess what? One thing led to the other. Dad begins to kiss daughter Elizabeth on the lips, and Elizabeth also consents to it, and they start kissing out and all of that. So father and daughter are making out, and of course there was a darkening of the scene, but we all know what has happened. They ended up having coitus and all of that, which is incest, which is against the law, except for certain states like Alabama that would allow it. It's just against the law wherever they were. I think they were in Colorado or something like that. I'm not too sure. So Elizabeth didn't see anything wrong with it. Dad didn't see anything wrong with it, and all of that. So basically, their relationship started getting so tight. Anytime the other kids come, they see mom and Elizabeth and dad doing things that they are kids, but they know what is right and what's not right. So basically, that's what happened. And then the other kid who is on the spectrum, she writes in her diary a lot. So one time, dad found her diary and then sends it to her mom and said, look at what your daughter said. So that basically would unravel what has been happening. But guess what? Dad's reaction to it was like, look at what your daughter did. She said, we're having a relationship. And then the mother is like, are you? And she said, well, we love each other. What would you do? You love your own daughter? You guys are kissing, you're having sex with your own daughter? She's underage. She cannot even consent to it. It's just so crazy. Like, you cannot understand it. And dad did not even see anything wrong with it. And the way he says it, we love each other. She makes me happy. And then mom is like, that's your own daughter. And he said, it doesn't matter. Love is love. Guess what? Elizabeth gets pregnant by her father. And then she pushes that they get married. And then now she has to consent to her adoptive parents. And the adoptive parents are like, are you serious? Do you know what's happening? You want to get married to your father? So your daughter becomes your brother? Like, your child becomes your brother? This is nasty. It's not even legal, and yada, yada, yada. So eventually, I don't know, for some reason, the marriage happened between the two of them. They started living or whatever. Elizabeth gets the baby. She has the baby, and then eventually child protective service comes in, the government comes in, because they're like, this is not right, this is not legal, she's underage, she couldn't have consented to that, she has no capacity to consent to that because she's underage, and you took advantage of the fact that she's young, and yada yada yada. And so they're like, okay, we're gonna take the kid and yada yada yada. But also we are also gonna put a restraining order against you and Elizabeth. We don't want you getting close to Elizabeth because you obviously look like you're sick and yada yada yada. So dad gets angry, and guess what? One time Elizabeth was with her child, but she ended up getting back because she ended up going to live with her adoptive parents and all of that. So she was in the car with the kid and her adoptive parents driving. And guess what? Dad has been stalking Elizabeth because she felt like they're trying to take Elizabeth away from her. So she was like, okay, if I can't have it, the world cannot have it, not even the government. So she drives fast, and guess what? Looks Elizabeth in the face, shoots the baby on Elizabeth, and after that goes all the way and shoots himself in the head. Now that I'm okay with. You should finish yourself because technically you don't have to live. But that innocent baby, Elizabeth, and also her adoptive parent, they all lost their lives. Now this, this would have been like, oh, maybe this is this is a story being couched. Colin is crazy in here saying this is a nice story being couched, but it is not a story. It is a real story. This actually happened. And when you go on Netflix, it says the Alison Pouty story. I'm not too sure. But the title of the whole movie rendition of whatever this is Father, Husband, Killer. And I think that you guys need to catch it up. You guys need to go look it up because I felt like it was so disturbing. It actually psychologically tells you what runs through the minds of people. Because sometimes when I see that people go on the shooting sprees, shoot their partners, beat them, slit their throats, and I'm saying this because I've seen those multiple times come through the hospital and stuff like that. Yeah. It tells you that the mind has been built in such a way that sometimes you think you have control over what you think or your thoughts, but it's like there's something behind, like there's another person controlling how you think, aside you having capability of, thinking. It's just crazy. And this makes me want to say that I feel like we need to appreciate how we think, and also try to seek intervention when we feel like our thoughts are rendering us or is leading us to places that it's not supposed to lead. Because all this could have been avoided if, one, the family had advocated for this person to have seen a shrink. Nobody did that. If somebody had actually stood so much in a way of the father and daughter, knowing exactly what they were doing. A lot of people are to blame for this. I wouldn't say the system failed them. I'd say that the immediate family failed them, because in a world where we are giving so much liberty to people, freedom to them to do what they want. She's only 18, and in America, if you're 18, that means that you can do certain things, except maybe not drink or whatever. But like 18 years, a child can move out of her parents' house and start her own thing. A lot of people are doing it and they're becoming successful, but that's just too young and all of that. 18 years is like a spectrum. People fall in different parts of that spectrum. There are some people that can actually be successful when they come out and like it works for them. There are some people whose minds are still not too mature to actually handle themselves at that age. And even there are some people who are below 18 that get emancipated like when they're 16, and they still can handle themselves. But I don't think that sometimes, I feel like sometimes parents need to just handle business. And it's things like this that make me appreciate my African upbringing, because like there are certain things you cannot do at home. You cannot fuck up. There are certain things you cannot say. You don't even cannot think it. Sometimes we think our upbringing was strict, was just too much. You're angry and you feel like your parents are holding you back and all of that. But I'm telling you, When you find yourself among certain people or in situations as such, you will appreciate those upbringing. And this is not to say that sometimes our parents are not wrong. They can be totally wrong because some people take it to the extreme. But sometimes, just about sometimes, a typical African child cannot fuck up like this. No shade. It's just so hard to find stories like this happening in African communities. But yeah, that was the movie I watched. And if you have the chance, I'd like you to go see it and tell me what you think about it in the comment section. You can shoot me a message or whatever. But yeah, I'm into my movie era. I'm watching a lot of documentaries. For those who don't know, I'm like obsessed with documentaries, especially those that have to do with cold cases, murder, and all of that. Yeah. Yeah. But until then, make sure you follow me. Make sure you subscribe. When you see this video, make sure you share or subscribe because I want it to get out there. I think I'll be doing more of the movies. But let me introduce you to something. I know I do advertise my business all the time, Afro Foods. I want to show you 2 products that we do and we've been doing. This is the Zongo stew. This is the first of its kind, right? Nobody does it in the US. We are the first people to actually, bottle our Zongo stew. If you're from Ghana, you know Zongo stew. This is exactly how it tastes in Rawless pack when you go to Nima and all of that. But we have this in a 24-ounce jar. You can use this multiple times. And the amazing thing is it has chunks of goat meat in it. So it's like a ready to go thing. You just take it, put on your rice, spaghetti, and all of that, and it's ready to go. It has a very beautiful package in there. And then you already know the shito that we sell, which comes in 5 different sizes. Yeah, this is the Afro Foods shito. Still the same taste. We ship all these products all over the states, all 50 states. Give us 2 to 3 business days. It's going to get there. It's still fresh and all of that. In addition to that, when you go on our website, which the link I'm going to put under this video. When you go there, you can click on, there's a plethora of other products that we sell, including Kinke, which is the Ga Kinke, Fanta Kinke. We sell Banku. If you live in Georgia, we sell soups. Palm soup, light soup, and all of that. Yeah. So just make sure you go visit the website and see over there. But until then, this is Sip and Speak with Rama. Today, I'm unable to finish my drink because I just finished eating and I'm kind of full. But make sure to watch the movie I'm talking about. I'm going to put the title down in this video. Yeah, until then, take care of yourself and have a wonderful week, okay? Bye.